Hey, beautiful people. Thank you for tuning in. This next episode is about the very first birthday that I got to spend with my biological dad. I'm Charity BDAY Muhammad. This is Gumbo for the Soul, and I just met my dad after 41 years. This is the very first birthday that we ever got to spend together, and it was in person. We did his birthday virtually in August, and so I was fortunate enough to spend my birthday with him in person. So the following episode you'll hear me, talk about that. It took me a few days. Like I've had to process all the feelings that I felt from being able to celebrate my birthday with him for the very first time. So thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in. Please drop a birthday cake or a blue heart in the comments if this episode resonates with you. So as always, stay blessed and have the day you deserve. Peace. All right, hey, beautiful people. Welcome to Gumbo for the Soul. My name is Charity BDAY Muhammad, and I am on a brand new journey. It's a journey of healing out loud. If you have been following along, you know by now that I just met my father. After 41 years of not knowing who he was, I just met him. So, this episode is all about how I spent my birthday with my real father for the very first time. This birthday, I didn't just celebrate another year around the sun, but it also included the gift of, finally knowing where I come from. All right, so imagine going 41 years, having 41 birthdays, and not having a clue like who your real dad was. So I'm gonna give you a little backstory. I'm a survivor of 2 Medusas. A Medusa is a term that I have given to my abusers. My first abuser was my step grandfather. That abuse started when I was 3. My second Medusa was one of my uncles on my mom's side. That was whenever I was 16 years old. So I'm a survivor of 2 Medusas. Both the Medusas were 2 men that were supposed to be father figures to me because we had no clue who my real dad was. So from the age of 3 all the way up until I was about 10 years old, I had to survive that childhood abuse. And then again, whenever I was 16. So the other part of the story is that my grandmother knew. She figured it out when I was 10, but yet we still stayed in that household. And I was basically forced to perpetrate a lie. Basically allow everyone to think that everything was fine, that my childhood was perfect, when indeed it was not. I just started talking about the abuse about 6 months ago. So that was my, process, my journey of healing out loud. I've been in therapy for over 10 years, but I never told anyone about my childhood, like I said, up until 6 months ago. So now, 6 months later, I figured out who my real dad was. We have been in communication for almost 4 months now. Our first conversation was on July the 9th of this year. So it has been almost 4 months. So I just spent my very first birthday with my biological father. It's kind of hard to put into words, like all the emotions that I've been feeling. My birthday was on the 20th, and it's taken me several days to try to wrap my mind and process, all the emotions that I've been feeling due to the fact that I was able to spend my first birthday with my biological dad. For a long time, birthdays were a big deal. They were a big deal because we never celebrated holidays growing up. Like we didn't celebrate any holidays. Christmas, Thanksgiving, Easter, like we never celebrated any holidays. So, but the one thing that we would do is we would always get like cake and ice cream for our birthday. We would get cake, ice cream, and probably a birthday card, and that was pretty much what we did for each other, right? So in the month of August, I was able to, do that for my real dad, and that felt really good, to be able to celebrate his birthday with him. But we did that virtually. We did that virtually because he lives in another state. But what I really, really wanted for my birthday, I wanted to be able to celebrate my birthday with my real dad as well. Whether that would have been virtually or in person, it didn't matter to me, because I just felt like that was it was a big deal to me. It was a really big deal to me, to be able to, like reclaim that or share that with my real dad. Um, my childhood, like I said, our birthdays were like that. We just got cake and ice cream, and that was pretty much it. I remember we had like one birthday party, and it was like a joint birthday party. It was myself, my brother, and one of my cousins, and we invited like people from the neighborhood and stuff to come. But that was like the only birthday party that we had. But like I said, I make birthdays a big deal because I don't celebrate any of the other holidays. Even for my boys, I make their birthdays a big deal. But over the years, my birthdays have never really been that special because like I was telling people for several years now, even if whether I'm in a relationship or not, normally because my birthday is in October, by the time my birthday rolls around, either I'm not with the person anymore or we're on bad terms. So their birthday is always early in the year, and I go all out. I plan big surprise birthday parties and different things like that for my partner's birthday and my family members. But when it's time for my birthday, I don't necessarily get the same treatment or the same love. But birthdays are still a big deal to me. So as me and my real dad have been getting to know each other, like we've been talking, like I said, for almost 4 months now. We do our Zoom calls every day. And so it was very important to me. Well, once I found out that he had a conference that he was about to present at, and he said that the conference was in Montgomery, Alabama. So I was like, I felt like that was a sign, right? Because I used to live in Birmingham for years. And I mean, I know where Montgomery is. Montgomery is like an hour away from Birmingham. So I was like, you know what? That was a sign. It didn't overlook. Like, I was like, I have to be there. Like, I have to spend my birthday in Montgomery with my real dad. Like, I have to be able to attend this conference. So, and then this is like the first birthday that I ever got to spend with him. Like, I'm 41. I was about to turn 42, and I was like, you know what? Finally, I get to spend a birthday with my real dad because I never desired anything from my step grandfather, right? Because he was my abuser. He was abusing me all those years. So I never wanted anything from him other than for him to, leave me alone. But this birthday was actually different. Like, I was like, I actually get to spend my birthday with my real dad. So, like I said, as soon as I found out that he had a conference that he was attending, I was like, well, we can, for lack of better words, kill two birds with one stone. I've never been to a conference that he has spoke at. We've never spent a birthday together. So I was all excited, so basically we've been planning it. I knew he was going to be in town for my birthday. I didn't know exactly what time he was going to get there, but the deal was, as long as I was able to at least spend my birthday with him. So we made it happen. He literally made it. He literally made it to town. Maybe like we had like 10 minutes left in the day, like the day of my birthday, like the day of the 20th, right? So, but like I was explaining to him, to me, it's the thought that counts. And he was like, well, you know what? What else you want for your birthday? So I want a cake. I wanted a cake. I told him I wanted a cake, I wanted a flower, and I wanted some balloons, and I wanted a card, right? So those were the things that I wanted. I said, but the main thing for me is just, being able to hang out and spend time with you, because I'm like, I know you have a conference. I know you have to do your presentation, and I just want to hang out pretty much. I just want to be able to hang out with my real dad for my birthday. So, like I said, it was a big deal to me because I never wanted that from my step grandfather, but I also missed out on that for like the last 41 years. So this right here, this birthday right here, was like a huge deal to me. To be able to at least spend a birthday with my real dad. All right, so for a long time I guess this is something that I really, really wanted. So I thought I was gonna cry. I thought I was gonna like bawl my eyes out. But I was super emotional. And I have learned one thing I have learned within like the last I guess the last 4 months is that I'm not gonna cry like everybody else. I refer to it as my eyes sweating, right? Because I spent years and years and years, locking my emotions up and not expressing expressing myself. Um, it's not gonna look like everybody else. Like I'm not gonna ugly cry. I'm not gonna do that. And just the fact that I am getting emotional and I want to cry is a big deal. So this birthday felt like I was reclaiming something, like I was taking something back. Because there were several years, excuse me, that were stolen from me. By my abusers. And I feel like now I'm healing out loud and I'm, taking that back. Because I've been diagnosed with CPTSD, anxiety, depression, and all the things. And so I feel like I'm reclaiming that. I'm taking that back by healing out loud and also, bringing other people along on this journey with me. So one of the first things that we did, right, he made it into town, and when he made it into town, we got to hang out pretty much. So, we got hugs and everything, and we pretty much got to hang out. And so the same thing that I was nervous about the first time, which was us actually like spending time together, I wasn't nervous about that this time. So, we went to the conference, and it was really cool, to be able to go to the conference. It was the SCMC conference, and he was one of the presenters. And it was really cool to be at the conference with him, not just as a guest of the conference, but as his daughter. Shout out to the director of the conference. Shout out to her because she made it possible for me to be able to register at the conference. So shout out to her. Like the whole experience was a great experience. To be able to be there, to be able to take part in his presentation. I felt like a sense of pride. I was like super proud of him. And I was just excited, to be there, to be able to witness, him, doing his thing. Because he's very passionate about that. He's very passionate about his nonprofit. He's very passionate about that. And we've talked about that, and we'll do another episode where we go more into detail, about what all he talked about and everything at the conference. But for me, being on the outside looking in, or having like a bird's eye view or behind the scenes view of what all goes into it, it was like really fascinating to me. And then we did another event together. Before we did that, we went to the riverboat. We went to the riverboat where the riverboat incident happened in Montgomery. That was a pivotal, a monumental moment to be able to share that with him, because we have talked about it in detail on our Zoom calls, and we said that was one of the places that we wanted to make sure that we went to. So we were able to visit the riverboat and the dock, and we saw the captain. They were in the middle of doing a field trip, so we really didn't get a chance to talk to the captain or take pictures with him, but we can now say that we were there. We visited that. And then next we went to another museum, the Legacy Museum. And I'm going to have to do a whole episode on that because he said he wanted to take me there. And I'm glad that I went. And like I told him, like, it feels like different parts of myself are being healed and being made whole. So the part of me that was not in touch with my emotional side, I'm learning how to get in touch with my emotional side. And that experience at that Legacy Museum, we were not allowed to take any pictures or any video. And like I was saying to him, I understand why they don't want you to take pictures or video, because that experience needs to be experienced in person. That's It's not something, pictures don't do it justice, video wouldn't do it justice. You need to visit the Legacy Museum in Montgomery, Alabama. Um, One of the exhibits was similar to the exhibit that I saw when I was in New Orleans. In one of the exhibits that had the biggest impact on me was the one that he wanted me to see, which is there's an exhibit that has jars of dirt from lynching sites. So I felt a deep connection with that exhibit. There's soil in the jars from all these lynching sites. And yeah, I'm gonna have to do a whole nother episode, because it's hard to put into words, and that's what's taking me so long to make this episode, is because it's hard to put into words what I felt, the emotions that I felt, because I felt like I wanted to scream. I felt like I wanted to cry. I felt like I wanted to throw up. I felt like all the things, like literally, my dad, like he had to hold my hand because my feet felt like they weighed 50 pounds and I could barely walk. Like he literally had to like almost carry me up out of there, after we visited, that Legacy Museum. Okay, so then after that, we went to a book signing event. So we attended the book signing event, and I got to shout out to Miss Carol. Shout out to Miss Carol for organizing that book signing event, and shout out to her for giving me a personal tour of the Orderman House there in old Alabama town. I got to experience that with my dad, and we also got a chance to share our story. Not only did he talk about his book and what led him to write the book, we also got a chance to share our story and how we met. And then one of the things that I really wanted was a birthday cake, and I ended up having to postpone my order for my cake because the travel plans changed that Monday. But they had a birthday cake there for me at the book signing event. So we had like an impromptu birthday party. So something that I haven't had in like years and years and years, I ended up getting it, which was a impromptu birthday party. Got the birthday cake. We had the candles. They sang and everything. So my eyes were really sweating during that moment. We got to cut the cake and I got to share that. So we had a whole birthday party. Yeah, so my whole birthday experience was an experience. It felt really good, to be seen, to be valued, and to be celebrated. And even though, like I said, we were there for him to do his events, he still made sure that I felt special. And I still ended up getting my flowers. My favorite flowers are hydrangeas. So we went. And one thing that he said that stuck out to me, I was saying we need to go to Walmart and go get like the artificial hydrangeas so I could keep them forever. And he was like, no, we're not getting fake flowers for you. I want real flowers for you. So, that made me feel really special. So to be made to feel special now after all these years of not feeling that way, that felt really good. So I got my flowers, and then they had balloons. So we got a happy birthday balloon, a I love you balloon, and a little smiley face balloon. So I still have them. They're still sitting here looking at me now, beautiful and everything. I think I'm gonna I'll try to attach a picture whenever I edit the video. I'll try to put a picture in with it. But I'm learning, how to give love. I'm learning how to receive love. I'm learning how to let my guard down. He told me I just need to be the beautiful woman that I am. Oh, we also got hibachi. I wanted hibachi. So yeah, I just needed some time to process, how all this made me feel. And I've never experienced a healthy relationship, and I've never felt emotionally safe until now. So this birthday marked the beginning of a new tradition, not just celebrating me, but celebrating us, a dad and a daughter, healing, connecting, and remembering. I've never felt more seen, more loved, and more whole. So if you ever felt like something was missing, I hope this episode reminds you that it's never too late to find it. Like I said, I just turned 42. So don't give up hope. It is possible. Thank you for listening. Peace. Hey. As you can see, that episode was a lot. From being able to feel comfortable and feel safe, from just being able to spend time with him in person, from being able to witness him do a presentation. I mean, just all the things, from being able to be seen and be heard and feel special finally after like 42 years. This episode and his birthday was a lot. I will never forget it. It was the first of many, because he keeps reminding me that he's not going anywhere and he's always going to be here. So, thank you guys for listening. Thank you for walking on this journey with us. Thank you for subscribing. Drop a birthday cake or a blue heart in the comments if this resonates with you. As always, stay blessed and have the day you deserve. Peace.